Excuse me, boss. What team do you support? What, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Fuck Chelsea. Chelsea shit.
Yeah.
Fuck Chelsea. What?
Fuck you.
Fuck Chelsea.
Fuck you.
Fuck
twat.
Chelsea, pussy or what? Say something.
Go on,
Fuck
listen,
Chelsea.
Fuck you
Fuck
twat.
Chelsea.
You know the vibes, people. Deluded. I'm back again, and our Arsenal players really lived up to that. You know what can I say? We blitzed Chelsea 5-0. The biggest criticism I would say is I wanted 6, I wanted 7. We got a clean sheet. We got the most important thing, which was 3 points. At the Emirates, it was a game that wasn't filled with drama. We've had some dramatic games at the Emirates and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy with one. In truth, I've exhausted all of my thoughts in relation to the game. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'm happy to win. You know, certain teams spent 100-odd million on Caicedo and a similar fee on Enzo Fernandez, and a man making his second start in 8 months pocketed both of them. Shout out to Odegaard and Declan Rice. Wondergaard's amazing when he was pulling out to the left, when he was, you know, in and around this, you know, the edge of Chelsea's area, when he was on that right-hand side. Declan Rice is, I know he's not the captain, but captain fantastic. I think Tomiyasu had a good game. Benjamin White didn't have his goal-scoring touch against Bayern Munich, but he damn well had it against Chelsea. The only real criticism, banter aside, I would say, it's not even criticism. I feel we learned our lessons, and I don't think it's a criticism of Mikel Arteta. I think when you look at the second half against Bayern Munich away from home, so the second leg of that game where we went out, and where you look at Aston Villa, by no stretch of the imagination were we perfect in either of those games in the first half, but it went downhill, in my opinion, especially Villa, in the second half. And again, I said it in my watch along, tactical analysis coming out at 5:30 for you lot people, and a video at, I believe, 7 p.m. Big up Alex in a different knock. Been getting the content out for you lot. But I think I said it in my tactical video that, you know, obviously I don't know Mikel Arteta. I'm not one of the playing or coaching staff. But when the camera panned to him when we scored the first goal, he looked vexed. He looked vexed. He genuinely looked vexed. He didn't, and even going into half time, I don't think he was happy with the first half. So it's nice to see that whatever he said at half time, these boys went and did it. I wouldn't quite say a criticism, but I do think, you know, I don't think there's a single Premier League team, especially the top 6 sides that have been competing in multiple tournaments this season. I don't think everybody's fit and firing. So I do think there was elements. You could see that we've played a lot and it's been a congested fixture calendar list. But I did think the first half, it was a weird one, because I think in the middle third, we was really decent. In the final third, we looked threatening. You know, Kai Havertz could have had a hat-trick if he scored in the first 30-odd seconds. But it felt for me that if we were to, you know, obviously we went off in the second half and won 5-0, but in the first half, I was happy with our performance. You can see this in my watch along, but I was thinking it felt like one of those games where we might be near enough perfect. Chelsea might not ask any real questions of us. I know Madueke and a couple of players got forward, but it felt like a lapse in concentration would let them back into the game. Obviously, at one goal, winning 1-0, you don't really want to take that risk. And, you know, we saw, don't know the right mic. Apologies, people. Should sound a bit crisper now. You know, Saka gave them a corner. In hindsight, he's probably trying his best to make sure Chelsea look half decent. Saliba had a moment where Jackson nicked the ball. Jackson probably should have been sent off. But 3 points. We sent out a sign, you know, and a message that, boy, we might not win this Premier League title because we're playing a bully in Manchester City and we don't know what Liverpool's saying. Everton can secure mathematic safety in the Prem. So Everton, we hope you could do a job for us. But when Chelsea are not going to be the ones really to try and say something, you know, half our rival fans, they support all these other clubs. When it's time for their clubs to do the madness, say what you want about Saka. He's fronting up to the music. He's playing with injuries. What, Cole Palmer really had a cold? But he knew he was going to come to the Emirates and he was going to get set on. I bet you respectfully, if Kirill and Zinchenko were playing, he would have been there. But it is what it is, man. Say what you want about my star boys. We did what we needed to do. And we should be filled with a lot of confidence going to the Spurs game. Now, when you look at Spurs, it depends how you look at it, because we've had a lot of games. Spurs haven't played in the second now, or they would have had considerable more rest. We can obviously leverage the fact that we've got momentum. They could leverage the fact that they've got rest. We could obviously be negative and say we've got fatigue. You could actually say with them, sometimes not playing, you're not in the groove of things. And they have their own injuries as well, man. So, yeah, who's this DG guy? A bit harsh. You're always here, Ben. Big up DG. Last night was like watching Paranormal Activity. We were playing against invisible people who couldn't touch us. We got everything right about that game. Line-up, performance, and scoreline. I tried to manifest a 3-1 win. So did I. And God gave us 5 and a clean sheet. Instead, bro, they got 5 pieces like a Dixie mill, man. It's peak for them. What was that? Hey, listen, there's two games that I live for in the Premier League season amongst everything. It's Chelsea and Spurs. Obviously, it's not where I get my fun because we've been doing better than them, but I try my best to be a football purist. The tribalness comes out of me in them sort of games there, man, if I'm completely honest with you. Imagine spending 1 billion quid and that's what you put out. Because, again, watching the game 3 times now, I think one thing Chelsea, they played with fire and they got burnt. They at times moves were breaking down with Arsenal, but as soon as they won the ball back, they're giving it away. And a couple of our goals have come literally because they've gone long. We've won the first and seconds, and then we've done what's needed to be done. And Doggy won't be playing, so we need Saka to cook. We should attack their fullbacks, attack their whole team. But you're right on that. Partey moved the ball so quickly, it created a lot of space. And that's the issue with Partey. I think we say it all the time. On paper, the man, in my opinion, arguably, pound for pound, excluding Martin Odegaard, so the people, you know what, Declan Rice, Partey, Jorginho, El Nene, people that are likely to line up in the pivot, pound for pound, all in all, Partey's the best, but it's all the other baggage he comes with. And for me, Partey, there's a reason that his teammates call him the octopus. It's like he unlocks the rest of the team. It's like people have a lot more confidence and they get, like, it's like their eyes light up when Partey comes on. You know, Odegaard was playing great anyways, but it looks like playing with Partey gives him a couple of extra percentages. The same goes for Declan Rice. And obviously, it's Partey's second start in 8 months. And yes, Chelsea are not what Chelsea have been doing this season, but it's still a big game. If Partey made a mistake, we'd have got onto him. And I know his cameo appearances have come to mixed success. I even think Zinchenko's unlucky, if I can remember correctly. Zinchenko could have got an assist from Martinelli. Martinelli needs to sort himself out. I saw an Arsenal fan saying Partey was okay and his passing was slow. I mean, even if his passing was slow, I think his ball retention was good. I think he tried to split the lines when he could. I think he intercepted well. I think he had a genuinely, I think he had a good game, if I'm honest. And that's the midfield three us Arsenal fans would have loved to have seen on a more consistent basis. For me, I'm not saying we can't upgrade on it, but it's got everything. It's got tenacity, it's got pressing, it's got technical ability, it's got the ability to do things in 2-3 touches, it's got dynamism. When I say dynamicness and all of that, you're going to point towards Thomas Partey and Declan Rice naturally, but you can't underplay Odegaard. He's probably the most or one of the most important players within that Mikel Arteta system. And it's just a shame that we've been robbed of that. To be fair, it's not Declan Rice or Odegaard's fault. They've been here all season. It's the fact that Partey can't stay fit. And we need to find another midfielder. But you'd love to click your fingers and Thomas Partey is able to show some prolonged fitness. Every time I watch Chelsea, their main weakness is their ability to build up from the back. We exploited that for the most part. £1 billion. Yeah, and you can't build with Caicedo, that's not a strength, but you've got Enzo who's drowning, Declan Rice bullying him. I swear someone nutmegged him for no reason, getting bullied. Caicedo, Partey making him eat AstroTurf. What's going on with Chelsea, really? I felt sorry for their defenders and goalie because you're kind of at everyone else's mercy. Jackson, I don't think Jackson's a bad striker. He's just not good enough to be in the position he finds himself in right now, which is leading the line for that football club week in, week out. It's a myth. I noticed that when Partey's on it, we pin teams in their own half. That's deadly when all pistons are firing, and we need to keep doing that, man. I know it triggered the Blues, but Kai fully deserved to celebrate. So happy for him, 2 brilliant goals. Amen, and it's lovely to see from Kai Havertz. I mean, it's written in the script. How many times as Arsenal fans have we seen players that, used to play for us going back? And it was lovely, really. I thought Kai could have had a hat-trick. I really did think he was going to get one. Like I said, the only real criticism is we should have got 6s and 7s. We used them for goal difference. And yeah, I know it's not Chelsea's strongest 11, but Luton rocked up here with missing up to 13 players. They didn't get ripped like that. Brentford rocked up at the Emirates and didn't have their strongest team. They didn't hold 5. Bournemouth last season gave us a harder battle. I can get used to this. Great to beat Chelsea, but the Villa game probably going to haunt my dreams for a long time. Really poor team selection. I mean, I don't want to ruin the video that's coming out with Alex. And of course, you can't win all the games. And there's obviously things you could do better in several different incidences. But for me, I was trying to think about, obviously, assume the best and worst case scenario in that. Well, the best case scenario is that we win the league. But worst case scenario is that we win all our games and it might not be enough. I don't know how mathematically these things pan out. But just assume there's a reality where that happens, right? What game would you look back and say that's where we won or lost it? Because for me, I would say Fulham away. No positives. One of the worst performances I think we've played this season. And I would say West Ham at the Emirates, because we created a million chances and the ball didn't go in the back of the net. I think we shot ourselves in the foot at Stamford Bridge. I think Mikel Arteta learned his lesson. That's probably why he bet on Partey and Tomiyasu as opposed to Zinchenko and Jorginho beyond the obvious. We did the same against Spurs. What else is there? You know, Newcastle, I think we were good in the defensive and middle third, but we didn't have any cutting edge, let alone creativity. So that shot us in the foot. Aston Villa at home, we shot ourselves in the foot in the second half. Aston Villa at their place, you don't put the ball in the back of the net, you don't win the games. And there's probably a couple of others I'm missing out. So yeah, it's difficult, man. So it's one of development. Nelly is always levels, never scared, sometimes a bit hesitant, but that's fine. No player is perfect. Yo, bro, I actually understand why Partey gets these thigh injuries based on the way he intercepts. Don't call him the octopus for no reason. He's going to have to get over that, man. This team selection could very well be the move for the rest of the season. I feel bad for Martinelli and want him to start, but with the form Trossard is in, who knows when he gets back in. And again, if life was fair, we'd all have a lot less. We'd all love all of these guys to play consistent minutes. But at the end of the day, there's 4 games left. The team's picking itself. Well, it's a bit reactionary to suggest that. But Trossard, over the course of the season, there's been times where, Martinelli hasn't been the Martinelli. Trossard's deserved to get more starts. So he's kind of owed that. And for me, Tomiyasu, you have to play. Timber, I can't wait till you're back fit. Tomiyasu, Timber, you're my first choice left backs, assuming we don't sign anyone. Kirill, you're calm for the squad. Zinni, emphasize you're on the peripheral things. I can't rule out you being utilized, but yeah, I just think the system's left you, man. Especially when we play like how we did yesterday. If you imagine that midfield free and then you throw Timber into that, of course we need a squad, but like Zinni is peak, man. Partey defo brought a calmness that was needed. You're right. Fulham, Spurs, Villa, West Ham, those games have cost us the title. Fulham away, West Ham at home, Fulham at home. Fulham at home, how could I forget? Not that them games there is what we have to eradicate from us. You know, Saka and Ramsdale bugging out. We got ourselves back in the games, and Zinchenko's giving away a silly corner. For a team generally that's been great at set pieces all season, we let ourselves down. That was the game Paulinho bagged, right? So it's these things that have to be eradicated. I can't ask my team or my players to be perfect, because that doesn't happen. But unfortunately, you near enough have to be with Manchester City in the league. I think Pep Guardiola's contract at City is until 2025. I'm hoping he cuts, man. Go and save Barcelona. Still baffled why Partey didn't play versus Villa and we played that crap with Havertz in midfield. I mean, if Mikel Arteta thought tactically that was the best move, then he's going to have to hold his beats for that. But I just have to assume this has been the first time he's really wanted to gamble on Partey or truly believed he was somewhat fit, which, again, for as good as Partey is, the best trait you can have is being available, man. If I'm honest, big up my guy. Menu, where's your comment gone? Where's your comment gone? I can see it on Twitch. Could someone tell me what makes Enzo Fernandez better than Kabay? Well, I need to see it as well. They thought he was mess because he's got sleeves and he's won the World Cup and whatnot. He's a myth. DG, I think for the North London derby, it'd be the same team, but I think Jorginho comes in for Partey. I'm not going to lie to you. Jorginho has all my faith if he comes in, but the game's going to be too open for you. You know, I look at Chelsea last year at Stamford Bridge. I look at the game in the North London derby, to a degree, the Villa game when we're chasing it. Jorginho, I can't begrudge him. Like, I really like what he brings to the table, and he's a good player and he's helped us a lot. But if you're real with yourself, Arteta's probably used Jorginho more than he would have liked. He definitely has, because of Partey's injuries, which, again, for as much as I like Partey and Jorginho, if we're having these same conversations, the manager, because we've had this a couple of times, for me, I think with a couple of days rest, you'd imagine, you know, they've had recovery sessions, training begins properly tomorrow. For me, Partey and Tomiyasu play in the North London derby. If anyone else plays, they've got my support, but that's what I'm going with, man. I'm going to be honest, Chelsea at home was when I thought we would never win the league, never make strippers a housewife. When I first saw Tommy getting placed left back last season, I was scared. We were desperately dragging another player out of position. He settled in so well, almost forgotten we brought him as a right back. He defo has used him more than he imagined. He defo has used Kirill more than he imagined. I defo think he's used Kai Havertz up front more than he imagined on a consistent basis, take nothing away from him. I don't know, inner circle. And again, this is for Mikel Arteta. I guess he could have went with that. I think he tried to go with Havertz against Aston Villa because of Kai Havertz's form generally, and he does put in a shift, but he's going to have to hold his licks for that. Do you think it takes Arteta too long to stumble upon a formula sometimes? Maybe if he started Havertz up top from the start of the season, maybe he would be on 20 goals. No, I disagree. I mean, it could be a thing, but if he did that and struggled, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think if there's, as much as I love what Arteta is doing and what he's bringing to the table, my biggest criticism of him is we've got a tiny squad and we're not learning our lessons. Like, we keep talking about injuries to key players affecting us, and this season's probably been the season of recent. I think we've actually dealt with injuries relatively well. Partey has not really played like that. Tomiyasu's been here, there, and everywhere. There's obviously a couple more. We keep saying the same things. And I think he's got that Wenger thing where he takes players that should be on the peripheral, makes them rotation options become starters. And for the large plot, they do all right. But when it's crunch time, they struggle really and truly. But yeah, man. Havertz got the same non-penalty goals as Cole Palmer. But hey, PFA shouts, them man there were saying. He's crazy. See, Cole Palmer's a talented player, very talented player, you know, but hey, the lights are going to be bright next season. You know, I think he's technically better than Saka with passing, and not even passing, but like eye-catching 100%. But Saka's been doing this thing for years. He's not a flash in the pan. Make sure you're doing what you're doing next season. Because Saka weren't getting the credit he's getting, that Palmer's getting at Chelsea. When Saka was playing around with absolute crap bin juice players, people weren't saying PFA for him. Fair enough, though, man. That's them lot's problem, fortunately, man. Kai, apology will be coming if we win the league. Kai statue is coming. Crazy. They let Kai look clinical up front. That's how I know they were meaty. Kai, to be honest with you, first half though, Kai Havertz was moving a bit mad. He was quite ineffective and he was playing with, it's like a little kid that don't want to eat dinner. You're just playing with your food. I felt he was doing that a bit too much in the first half. Second half, he found himself. All the players levels above Chelsea. This Chelsea team are crap. They can't make 10 passes in a row. Plus Mudryk, Jackson, Madueke attack is the worst Chelsea attack I've seen in my life. Long may it continue. But I think the issues at Chelsea got to be deeper because like the players aren't bad. Like obviously the players have to do a job. I do agree that some of the players aren't cut up to task. Like Nicholas Jackson. I keep calling him Martinez. Nicholas Jackson should not be starting every week for them. But if Chelsea were to dissolve as a football club and these players become free agents, I don't think Mudryk will be short of offers regardless of his form. I don't think the same for Enzo, Caicedo. It's mad, but Raheem Sterling, Disassi, I don't know who's going to buy you, but fair enough. You get the point. So I think it's deeper than I think Pochettino's fraud in it, if I'm honest with you. Like, what is their philosophy? You're playing Gallagher in some weird roles. Yeah, injuries haven't helped and there's a big squad and the owners probably have to take some responsibility, but it's a myth. What a game. What a game. DG, if you remember the stream before I said Kai would score, the something with ex-players scoring against their old clubs. I hope you put a 10 or 20 quid on the goals, mate. We could have easily been 3-0 up by half time. And just in case, that's what we've got to learn. I think we was ruthless in the second half. I think the first half, the only way I saw Chelsea once again getting into it is if we're caught on the transition, someone's done something mad or gone to sleep, because I was relatively confident, but it felt like it was going to be one of those games. I didn't think we'll keep a clean sheet, if I'm honest. I went with a 3-1 prediction. I think I said it in my watch along. I felt we'd take the lead, stupid moment, they'd equalize, and then obviously we'd find 2 goals from somewhere. Yeah, this Gallagher left wing thing, he's just chasing shadows. Partey, easily the best DM. His presence is immense. He just needs to stay fit. In some ways, I do sympathize with some of the squad building issues. Built a top 4 squad and we surpassed expectations by challenging for the title. Still needs to build a squad for the league. And I just want to see depth. Arteta is too smart of a man for me to accept. He just blindly woke up one day and said, we've got one of the thinnest squads. He showed so much foresight with giving Odegaard the captaincy, keeping Granit Xhaka, and there's many different things. You didn't just wake up and think, "Right, we've got one of the smallest squads." You knew that. So again, I'm not a fly on the wall at the Emirates. If you tried to, get me centre mid options and whatnot, and it wasn't possible, fair enough. But I can only comment on what I see as an ignorant fan that doesn't have all those variables. And I've been saying it for years, we're not strong enough in midfield. As much as I love Tomiyasu and Partey, how many times are we going to keep having the same conversations? Realistically, as much as I love the attacking players, I think Kai Havertz has a role here. We have not got a certified striker. For the large part of the season, goals have been spread out. We're doing well. But there's been moments we just need someone who's going to put the ball in the back of the net, and it hasn't been there. The annoying thing with the Villa game was Odegaard, Rice, Jorginho, Kai setup was destroying teams. Then we reverted to the lineup that only won 1 from 7 in the end of the Premier League 2023. We need to kill off the rest of our games like we did in the second half yesterday. You can't do that all the time, but I hear it. Fulham and that Newcastle goal that shouldn't have stood will still haunt me if we don't win it. I hear it with the Newcastle goal, and I'm not saying you're taking a cop-out, but for me, not you, but I think Arsenal fans, it's a bit of a cop-out because, yeah, VAR should have helped us and whatnot, and I know it's Premier League football, but we know the ref's not going to give us any favours, and in our honest of hearts, did we do enough to beat Newcastle? Pardon me if that goal is disallowed. No, we probably walk away with a point, which isn't the worst thing. But this is why I think we needed a striker. I do think Mikel Arteta, it sounds mad because I think there's been various points across the season where we've lacked creativity. Goal scoring has been the big thing, regardless of when we've had brighter or whatever periods. But chance creation has been an issue. And I think that was a big thing in the Newcastle game. And I think for Mikel Arteta, quite frankly, I think it's unacceptable if we walk into next season and we haven't got a left-sided 8. Striker, as much as I want it, and I feel it's imperative, and you have to bring a striker in for us to be serious next summer. I can kind of understand that it's very difficult to find that striker that you 100% are convinced in. So if you were to bring in a winger and we've got a centre mid, I can run with that. But midfield has to be addressed, or we're going to keep having the same old conversations. Declan Rice needs that long-term partner. To go with Declan Rice and Odegaard, they lead that long-term member of that midfield trio, really and truly. What are you saying for Partey next year? He shows his quality like yesterday, but the man can't stay fit. It's that age-old thing, man. And I've said it before. I think everything with Thomas Partey should be on the table. I think, if he can prove his fitness, then there's a role here for you. But at the same time, I still want other centre mid options. You kind of replace a player before he needs replacing. And that doesn't mean get rid of Partey or not utilise him. We know he could get injured. Find that long-term partner. If you're Thomas Partey, you're in a rush to leave. The club, Arteta rates you heavy, always says it. Living in London, earning a lot of money that you might not get at another club, got another year to run on your deal. Potential buyers might sit there in the summer and say, if Arsenal do an extreme cut price deal, I might entertain things. But we're not going to give Arsenal a decent transfer fee when in 6 months from now, especially if we're a foreign club, we can agree something with him. So it all depends. There has been some tentative rumours that there's actually a contract extension on the table for him. What I wouldn't want to see happen, though, is to lose Jorginho and Thomas Partey. I think that would be too much experience walking out the door. Rice and Bruno, we would have a brick wall. That would be lit. I want an 8 and a 6. I'm prepared to accept just one central midfielder. Saka had a meaty game and still got an assist, still contributing during the slump. Hey, man, there was a couple of occasions watching the game again. I don't think Saka was amazing, but couple of actions, he just cooked Cucurella for no reason. And I like the fact that he was kicking Cucurella as well. Saka's had enough. I think he's had enough of getting kicked. He's starting to become a villain. And here we are. Villa, Fulham home, and away Spurs at home, Chelsea away, West Ham at home, where we shot ourselves in the foot. We ain't played Spurs away yet, bro. I think, do you mean at the Emirates? Chelsea bringing out these 8-year contracts is everything wrong with them right now. These players can continue lacking what's needed, grab a monster paycheck and hold it down for a couple years. They're living. They've got no... Think about it. If you're obviously, people can move on. Chelsea can do things. But if you're one of those players at Chelsea, on the best of days, typically, apart from a couple of situations like, for what's left of Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool or Pep at City or Arteta with Ozil and Aubameyang and all of this, typically, if you lose a dressing room or you lose a player, the manager's going to be the one to go. Arsenal is a bit different. So you imagine if you're on an 8-year deal or something, you're probably not caring. Poch is going to leave. I might impress the other gaffer. If this club wants to loan me out, that's great. I'm getting money. The project at Chelsea needs a revamp. Hopefully not. And big up David Raya for winning the Golden Glove. Bearing in mind, he didn't even start the season as well. So hail him up, man. He deserves that. Every bit of that, really. It'd been nice if, Liverpool and City, fell away and we were leading the title challenge with 10 points. Ramsdale could have got a look in these last couple of games. But it is what it is. Let's see what our gaffer Mikel Arteta has said. He said a big performance collectively and individually. And can anyone disagree? Subscribe and smash the like button if you haven't. I thought we were really good against a really good team that was in great form. And they were going to ask us a lot of questions. And we responded really well. From the start of the game, I think we were really determined, really flowing, playing with a lot of courage and making things happen. Can't disagree. And I'm really happy with the result. It's a big day for our supporters as well. So really happy with that. On Rice, Odegaard and Partey playing together, which we was excited about. Yes, we have the squad available apart from Timber. And you would have seen Timber. This was a good week in terms of his progression. As well.
because obviously he played against Blackburn, and we hope I hope he's on the bench against Spurs. And I just hope he's able to play some part of the game, man. If everything was to work out, it'd be nice to see him start at home in front of the fans against Everton on the last day of the season. Yeah, and even on that, where Raya's concerned, has he actually won it? Because I put that in my tactical vid. I think he has to get one more clean sheet before mathematically it's a myth, if I'm honest, but who knows? Yeah, we have the squad available apart from Timber. Hopefully he's going to be what? He's going to be very soon back with us. We have to utilize the players, the quality that we have. We thought it was a really good game for Partey to come back. We do not rate you. Second start in 8 months. And Arteta, with us being in the title race, said, you know what, there you go. Caicedo, you're not rated. You should have come to the carpet, man. Fair enough. He looks like he's in rhythm. He's trained really well in the last few days. The way that they set up the players that they have in and the way they attack, especially, we believe it was the right call to make. He stepped up and had a great performance and was really important for the team. On what he likes about that midfield trio, everything, but as well, when they play Declan, Kai and Martin, or play with Emil as well as Jorginho for sure. Hey, he's not forgotten Smith Rowe. Don't give up. Don't sell your Smith Rowe stocks. We've got something to say here. He has played some big games and we've won some big games with him as well. It depends on the game and the state, the opponent as well. It's great because everyone feels important as well. That's something really, really important. Now, on the boost a big win can give our squad. Is it a big win? I mean, we won 5-0, but we've got Chelsea's number. Nonetheless, great for us, obviously, for the confidence, for the belief that we can do it and we can come to these stages against big teams and we can perform and win games the way we have done tonight. So enjoy it, and it's back to work tomorrow. Amen, manager, because we have a big one Sunday, and we're going to have to prepare really well to try to beat them. I hear it, Arteta. Pochettino's your boy. I don't have sympathy for him. It is what it is, so we'll skip past that, people. He said he loves winning. He then went back and talked about Partey's importance. I don't know, but then we would have won every game, because look at the running we're in, the amount of points we already have, and we've missed Thomas. That's true, since August, and he's a big player for us. But as well, that has given the chance to all the players to play Declan as a 6, to rediscover Declan as an 8, playing Kai as a 9, the contribution of Jorginho. He has been absolutely phenomenal as well, and the team has resources. And it has to find different ways of winning and acting and interchanging the qualities. I'm really happy. Fair enough. On the energy, that's for sure. And for the spirit of the team, the second half, we kept growing physically. What these boys have done in the last 10 days is unbelievable. And you look at the numbers of some of them, it's unreal. But they can do it. They can improve themselves because they want to. And they have this mentality that they really want to win it. On preparations after a difficult week last week, just get on with it. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. Like he said here, just face the reality. That's it. The margins are so small, and sometimes you cannot be better than your opponent on the day, or you don't have the luck you need in certain moments. But what do you have to do? You have to react and face the moment. Pardon me. And the moment is beautiful. We've been working for it for 9 months. So you certainly have to face it in the right way, value what we have, and especially believe. If you're able to do that for 9 months, you'll be able to win it. But you have to believe it first, and you have to do it consistently. Nothing else. On Kai Havertz against his former club, he was unbelievable in all departments. And obviously, when you have a 9 score 2 goals the way he scored, his contribution was great. And a question about scoring against Chelsea for him, I'm sure he's very pleased. Then he said, on the supporters, that's what we're here for. I think they have to feel that this team is capable of representing the club in the best possible way. I think they feel it. They see the effort and they see the quality. Our job is to make sure they have fun, enjoy, and together we can win things. On revenge, after suffering big defeats as a player, that's not revenge. This is football. It normally brings you another opportunity. We took it today in the right way. Don't get carried away. Enjoy tonight, and let's go back to work tomorrow. Fair enough, Gaffer. In relation to my tactical analysis video of Arsenal versus Chelsea, that should be out at 5:30. So literally in an hour for you lot, people. Partey spoke after the game and said, I'm happy to be back in the team and also to get a win in the derby. It's a really important game, so I'm very happy. Everything depends on us. We have to continue winning our games. We have a few more games left. We have to win them all. Not the first Arsenal player to say that. It was a very good game. We went all out from the beginning because we knew how important this game was for us. If we don't approach it right, we are not able to win, but we did everything right, and I'm really proud of the team. He bigged up Kai Havertz. He's a great player. He's working a lot, and you can see the work he's doing. He deserves everything that comes along. I hope he can continue like that and finish the season strongly, and I think we all do. White has said, I tried to go across goal. It went in. Fair enough. Sometimes it happens. You know, you couldn't do it against Bayern Munich and you're scoring without actually knowing. It's crazy. I think I was pretty shocked, to be fair, when it went in. It was an amazing ball by Martin. I got a bit of luck. It's just one of those, isn't it? I tried to get it back across goal and it went in the net. Fair enough. Obviously, amazing to get 3 points and score 5. I think we had opportunities in the first half. They didn't quite come off. And in the second, we stepped up and scored some goals. We know what we want to do this season. Everyone's in the same line. Everyone's working towards one thing. Then he said, on the atmosphere, it's amazing. Obviously, when it's going well, it's amazing to hear it. They help us so much. The derby is a massive game for us, and we're looking to take all 3 points. Love that. Love the rhetoric. We've got the most goals from set pieces in Europe's top 5 leagues now with 18 people. Tab police look away. Odegaard in his last 2 games has a goal against Wolves and got 2 assists against Chelsea. Lovely stuff. You look at the statistics there. He ran the show. How dare they try and say they don't want him because they want Buendia? We've come a long way from that January period when he first initially joined the club. Game scoring 5+ goals while keeping a clean sheet this season in the Premier League. We have 6. The rest of the Premier League combined stands at 7. So we're doing all right. Chelsea in their last 10 games with Arsenal have tasted defeat 7 times, drawn twice, and won only once. So we've got their number. Odegaard created 8 chances last night. Just Chelsea created only 6. We've kept 16 clean sheets this season. No other team has more than 10. So we're doing okay once again. Teams with 3 double-digit goal scorers in the Prem. Liverpool have Salah, Nunez, and Jota. Arsenal have Havertz, Trossard, and Saka. Crazy. Premier League this season, we've got our goal difference stands at 51. Manchester United goal scores is 47. Boy, Premier League clean sheets, we have 15. Chelsea have 13 Premier League wins. So we've got more clean sheets than they've won 3 points. Trossard's actually the first Arsenal player not named Saka with 10 league goals this season, sharing the burden. Arsenal's first goal yesterday was the 100th we've scored in all comps this season in our 48th game. Crazy. Arteta spoke about us needing to be a team that scores 100 goals. We're moving in the right direction. Big up Partey on his first Premier League start for just the second time in 8 months as well, folks. Let's close that. There's that. Tab police look away again. I'm a bit bored of this Bruno Guimaraes stuff, but nonetheless, for you lot, Arsenal are considering a summer move for Newcastle's Bruno Guimaraes. However, a striker remains Mikel Arteta's top priority as the North London club prepared to back their manager with another hefty transfer kitty. The Gunners will be joined by the likes of Manchester City and PSG in their pursuit of the Brazilian midfielder, who has a reported 100 million release clause. Yet there's a belief that the two will be open to selling their star man for slightly less should the deal be attractive, one with numerous add-on bonuses. We all know he's been a hit there. And actually, another player that people would want is Zach. He's been linked with Barcelona. Whether they have the money, I don't know. Sun Sport allegedly also understands Guimaraes likes the idea of joining a club with a Brazilian connection like he has at Newcastle with Joe Linton. I mean, we've got Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli, Gabriel forcing it, but Portuguese speaker Fabio Vieira. Marquinhos can stay for pre-season. Jorginho's Brazilian. So, yeah, it is what it is, people. Keep it moving. What's this? Rebecca Bardi Furious. Oh, boy, free him up. He was cropping and that. Crazy. We all know there's speculation over Partey and Jorginho's future. We'll have to see how that develops. So there's really and truly no point speculating there. What else? Arsenal want Gyökeres and more. Allegedly, people. According to Football Transfers, the North Londoners will smash last summer's transfer spend with as many as 4 marquee signings in the upcoming close season. Gyökeres has been name dropped. No one else has been name dropped, but I hope if that is the case, centre midfielder or 2, striker, winger, and then Arteta can do what he wants, in my opinion. We've gone over that. Apparently, Arsenal are still battling it out with 4 other European clubs to sign Joshua Zirkzee. And I do like him. I don't think he scores enough goals, but I think he can improve in that. I think his playmaking and his general play is quite good because he plays for a possession-based side in Thiago Motta as Bologna. Aston Villa, Man United, and AC Milan have all been name dropped here. He's been likened to Ibrahimovic. Bayern Munich do have a buyback clause of 40 million and probably a sell-on clause. Bologna allegedly have slapped a 75 million euros asking price. So I have to see. Signing a top number 9 is a key priority for Arsenal, and they also have the likes of Gyökeres, Osimhen, Vlahovic, and Ivan Toney on the list. I would personally rule out Osimhen. I think there's an admiration for it. I think Ivan Toney, unless we scour all of these other targets and we're unable to get any, I think that's the only way you personally end up at Arsenal. Arsenal and United have joined the race to sign Olise ahead of the summer transfer window. The Gunners are ready to raid their London rivals for the 22-year-old in the off-season as they plan attacking reinforcements. Chelsea and Manchester City were both keen to land Olise last summer before he signed a new contract at Palace running until 2027. Arsenal and United have joined their Premier League rivals in the race for the winger's signature ahead of the summer window. It's believed Juventus are also keen on a potential swoop. Have they got the bread for that? I don't know. I mean, bring Olise. Who wouldn't want him at the carpet? We've gone over that already. What's this? I mean, we know there's speculation over Thomas Partey, but Arteta once said, they was in my plans. If you want to improve the squad and have more quality, we need more players who can play together and need players in the same position who have to fight for their places. It's something we haven't had in a few years. Fair enough. We know that already. Nobody cares about finishing ahead of Tottenham. It's a formality, but it'd be lovely to batter them on Sunday. Diamonde is still linked with Newcastle and indirectly Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, Bayern Munich and Juventus allegedly have all scouted the 20-year-old, but Newcastle reportedly have made approaches to understand the conditions to sign him. Sporting Lisbon are still demanding the price for his release clause, which currently is 80 million. So that's a bit of a madness. Arsenal, Liverpool, eyeing Florian Wirtz. Would love it, but you've got no reason to depart Leverkusen at this moment in time. And with Xabi Alonso, it is what it is in that regards, man. And they said they wouldn't even let him go for 150 million euros. I reckon there's a good chance he could end up at Madrid. El Nouri links the Wolves left back. It doesn't go away. The Mirror says City, Liverpool and Arsenal are all keen on the 22-year-old people who has a deal until 2026, which makes it interesting and is rated at 50 million quid. Who's this? Douglas Luiz has been a long-term target for Arsenal, and the Gunners may sell Thomas Partey this summer to fund a move for the Brazilian midfielder. If we can't fund a move for Douglas Luiz, regardless of what goes on with Partey, that's crazy. But as we know, he's contracted until 2025. No way on God's green earth with a year left on his deal. I'd love to be wrong. I'm not an agent, but a 30-year-old who's played, who's started at this moment in time, a 30-year-old who started 2 games in 8 months. He's played a total of 449 minutes in the Premier League. Plus his wages. Nobody's giving us 25 million. If it was just on the ability, 100%. And I'd love to be proven wrong, but that's crazy. We're not getting 25 million. You could argue, I know you have to, we have to be sustainable, but you could argue if you're only going to get 25 million and we're trying to challenge for the Prem and whatnot, it probably makes sense to hold on to Partey. I know 6 months left on his deal, potentially. It makes sense to let him go up to a year. Obviously, 5-6 months from next January. It don't make sense to me. But Partey's future is always going to be subject to speculation, just like with Jorginho's. The Ghanaian is turning 31 in June, and like Jorginho, there's speculation over his future. So it's literally going to have to be wait and see mode, people. Where that's concerned, that appears to be the only transfer rumours and links. Bring me Isaac. Guimaraes buying £4 million houses. That's fake news. Amen. We'd be lucky to get 15 for Partey. I'm with you. Gyökeres, Bruno, Olise, and Mendy. How is Arteta moving? I don't think he's going to get Mendy. I don't think he's getting Mendy. I'm not keen on Mendy. Good left back though, but not my cup of tea. Shout out to King Kai. Crazy how we instantly become more fluid with Partey starting. The best player, ballers can play with ballers with the greatest of respect. I'm disappointed of Arteta for saying he felt sorry for Poch. Poch is his boy. Like, he's always going to say that. Like, that's his boy. Like, that's who he said treated him like a father, was almost his big brother when they were at PSG together. They don't forget, like, Poch finds himself as a manager at Chelsea. Arteta's obviously played for Arsenal and finds himself here. But they were just two players who had no allegiances at that time. So he's always going to have that. And what I did like, it felt like Arteta is doing the Pep Guardiola thing in that, City used to batter us and Pep would say, they're so good, so good. Jose said that when he was Spurs gaffer. So it's nice to see we really are changing, man. Rice, Partey, Odegaard is our best midfield at this moment, yeah. I'm never selling my Smith Rowe stocks. Anyone else frustrated with Havertz before the goal? I learned that he always tries, so it's definitely a 90-minute game with Kai. I hear that. Saka is only improving and becoming a bigger monster every week. When you think he's having a poor patch of form, he'll turn up and silence everyone real quick. Amen. He hasn't won it yet, technically, not going to lie. I don't know why these accounts keep tweeting it. He has 4 more than Pickford, but Pickford has 5 games left. Obviously, he'll still win it, but I don't know why they're saying it now. Fair play. Some of the take-ons I've seen Saka taking in the Wolves and Chelsea games is a definite improvement. May not have the may not have led to a goal for him, but he's so I think you mean less robotic. Pass back claims he gets. I mean, ultimately, Saka's just going to live and die by the high standards he set. He's never going to be everyone's cup of tea. People got agendas, but as long as the star boy keeps doing star boy stuff, we keep doing what we're doing. Listen, if we can keep Partey for depth and have that new midfielder signed, I'm not complaining. If Partey can stay, and I know it's a big if, but if you could get the Partey from last season, away from ability, staying fit, and you bring in one midfielder, I'm cool with that. But I would like to. I'd sell my Smith Rowe stocks if we gave Cedric a new deal. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. You never quite know, but I'd like to think that's not the case anymore. And if it is, then yeah, that's a sackable offense for Mikel Arteta, if I'm honest with you. People, I'm not going to lie. I've got a stream at 5 p.m. I'm just, what's the word? I'm tongue-tied. I'm just aware of the time, so I have to kind of cut this live stream short, 40 minutes. It's not the hour we normally do, but that's only because I'm going to get some other content for you lot. But in the meantime, 5:30, go over that video there. Thank you very much for your talking points, etc., etc. It's been a great, couple of days for Arsenal Football Club, beating Wolves, obviously beating Chelsea. Now we need to go again against Spurs, people. So yeah, man, if you haven't subscribed or smashed the like button, make sure you're doing such. Appreciative to you lot who have. Obviously, Benjamin White has been bagging this week. Timber's been bagging. Us fullbacks really are important, man.
Against this right back, Charlie.